As with everything we do at Cincinnati Children's, our compensation philosophy and approach is designed to support our vision to be the leader in improving child health. This video will help you understand how a compensation philosophy and approach can help us get there and how our approach works. To help achieve our vision, we need to attract and retain a talented and caring workforce. Great, but how do we do that? One way is to offer compensation that is competitive with other market leaders. Okay, so how do we do that? To ensure we are competitive, our compensation team in Human Resources continually compares our pay to the pay of employers with jobs similar to ours. We do everything we can to compare apples to apples. For example, we compare clinical jobs to clinical jobs and research jobs to research jobs. Specifically, we look at pay competitiveness, pay trends, pay practices. With this data in hand, we can compare just about any job at Cincinnati Children's to just about any job in the market and determine a job range and midpoint for that job. In most cases, we set the midpoint of our range higher than the midpoint of the market, which makes our pay practices highly competitive. This part can be confusing, so let's look at an example. Let's say our market data tell us that employers are paying $15 to $25 an hour for job X. That makes the midpoint of the job range $20 an hour. They set their midpoint to match the market midpoint and build their job range around that. We sometimes do that, but for most jobs, especially high-demand jobs, we set our midpoint higher. For most jobs, we set our midpoint at the 65th percentile. So, in our example, we find the 65th percentile of the range between $15 and $25 an hour. In this case, that's $21.50 an hour. Then we build our job range using that number as our midpoint. In this case, we calculate amounts 25% above and 25% below the midpoint. So our job range starts at $16.13 an hour and ends at $26.88 an hour. The result is that our job range overall allows employees in Job X to be paid better than the market. That doesn't mean that all employees in Job X are paid above our midpoint or even above the market midpoint. There will always be employees who are above the midpoint and below the midpoint, depending on performance, job knowledge, and overall contribution. And that's a subject for a different video. Hopefully, however, you can see that overall, employees have greater earning potential at Cincinnati Children's than they do against most employers in the market. This approach helps us attract and retain a talented and caring workforce, and that's an important step in helping us achieve our vision to be the leader in improving child health.